Alright, here's the deal. Old Gerber, Gerber Flick. I've kind of worn it out. The ends don't lock in very good anymore, and often they slip on the little serrated jaws and pinch my hand. So I got myself a new one. This is the new Gerber center drive, new to me. I looked long and hard for what to replace my old one with, and this was my best option. I've always been a Gerber fan, had a number over the years, a few different 600 models, the Flick, now this one. The one thing that I don't have much use for though is, if I can get it open here with one hand, serrated blade. Never had much use for these, I gotta be honest. And one thing that I do miss is my scissors. Those actually do have some use for me, and I do find those handy. So the project for today is going to be to try and take the scissors out of this thing and throw them in place this. So this looks not too hard to take apart. Looks like there's just some Torx screws in there, so that shouldn't be too hard. This here though has some funny stuff here. Focus already, come on. So I'm going to try and build myself a tool actually to take that apart. Probably a piece of steel with a hole in the bottom. Go like this. Does that focus any better? Not really, come on. So anyway, we're going to try and build a tool to fit that. Probably a little chunk of round steel with a hole in the end and some pins in there to engage the little hollows on this thing. And I'm really hoping that this is actually some sort of screw apparatus and not something that's peened on there, kind of riveted. So anyway, we'll give it a try. I'll have to make two, one for each side. So let's get to work. Okay, first step. Got some 1/2 inch round stock. Fire that in the lathe and we'll face it off and then take it over to the mill and drill some holes in the bottom of the thing. Now, let's see if we can fire this up here. Good. Yeah, all right. Let's see about chamfering something off here. Where's the tool? Here we go. Break some edges. There we go. Looking good. Okay, next thing we're gonna do, first, edge find. We're gonna find center on our little chunk of steel here. I got my 1/16 drill bit in the very smallest center drill that I've got that's not broken, and we'll drill out a little pattern for those little lugs there. All right. Oh yeah, I got this mounted in a collet block, obviously. So let's see what we can figure out here. Oh, guess I can unlock the axes. There we go. Let's try again. Oh yeah, DRO. Power, good, okay. Let's booting up. There's one. X0. Let's do the other side. It's a little tricky doing this one-handed. Alright. Other way, dummy. There we go. So let's have the X. So that gives the center that way. And let's go to that center. Oops. 10 to 10th, that's pretty close. There we go. 0. Other side. Let's sneak up on that. There we go. 1.5. Okay. So that should give us dead center of the part there now. And we'll set up a pattern here in a second. Okay. Took some measurements, made some calculations to try and figure out the position of the pins. If we go back to the Gerber here, for these little holes in the side there, where the drive pins have got to engage with this, what I'm hoping is a nut screw. I've come up with an offset here. If we orient that with the screen here, 112.5 thousandths of an inch from the center point there to give us our drive pins. So that would be kind of like our bolt pattern, our hole pattern there. I'm just going to do 2. I think that'll work just fine. So I've got the DRO set up for that, more or less 112.5. And now I'm going to try my best not to break off my center drill. And I'll punch that out there. So on, drill, look off, need some RPM. I love this VFD. Nice. If it would focus already, come on. Okay, it looks like the M size drill bit should be about the right size. Man, you got no macro focus on this thing at all. Okay, let's drill this out. Gonna have to drop the table. Where's my drill? And down. Get in there. I like my new power feed. That works awesome. I should show you this sometime. I think that looks deep enough. Let's check and see. Yes, it is. All right. So that's got that. Now we got to just do a little bit of cleanup and drive in the pins. Okay. So we've got focus already. What is wrong with you? That's a little better. So, little tiny piece of broken off drill bit. I will drive that into the holes here. Unfortunately, I can't do that and hammer and hold the camera at the same time. So, bring it back when I'm done. Okay. So there's one pin in. So I'm going to go slice that off and put the other pin in the other side. All right. Got them in there. Focus already. So 2 pins. Moment of truth. Will it work? I'm a little too big to fit this. Oh yeah, look at that. Perfect. Just a teeny tiny bit of slop, but I am real happy with that. Okay, so I've got to turn down the outside a little bit, and I've got to carve some flats in this thing so I can grab it with a wrench to be able to spin this. And I'm still hoping that these are actually a nut and bolt arrangement that actually do unscrew and not some crazy peened over, permanently affixed kind of deal here. Anyway, all right, let's do some more. There it goes. Okay, something's happening. I don't know if that's unscrewing or not, but it's turning anyway. This is really tricky to do one-handed. Okay, I gotta put the camera down. Okay, something's working here. Things are getting noticeably looser in there, and I can see a bit of a gap. Let's keep on going. Oh yeah, we are in. Here's the bolt. 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 So yeah, lucky to say this is something that comes apart. So a little screw thing, Loctited. So before I try actually pulling that pin and disassembling stuff, I'm going to disassemble this one. This one's way easier. Just some Torx screws in there. Okay, let's get it up. Okay, next one. Looks like it's a T9 Torx bit in there. So, oh yeah, it's coming. My scissors are coming out. Am I taking apart the right side? Yeah, okay, good. Whew. That would have been disastrous. Mildly embarrassing. Alright. Come on out of there. Yeah. Alright. Alright. My scissors are free. Free indeed, almost. Okay, now I need two hands. This is going to come apart badly if I'm not careful. Ooh, surprise, surprise. This one's actually a bolt in from each end. So I had to put the one screw back in and pull this one out in order to get at the scissors. So, spring, scissors, old blade. Looks like the locking mechanism is pretty much the same deal there. So, I am now going to drop this to the other knife. Gerber, multi-tool, whatever. Cool. Okay, so I think I've got to grind this off, but that won't be a big deal. I'm not going to miss that too much. Let's get to it. All right. After much fiddling, I've got it all together. So, had to play around with the shims a little bit. It appeared to be really loose, so I added in a couple shims from the other knife, which it did not need at all. In fact, it's still too tight, so I wasn't able to torque that down all the way in order to get it tight. And my little spring here needed a little bit of adjustment. Now it works beautifully. And we're back in here. I found that I didn't even have to grind off the little thumb thing here. And when you close it, it fits in. Focus already. There you go. Fits in nice and flush, and the everything slides and clears properly. No modifications needed. So I'm pretty happy with that. Awesome. That's what I wanted. Excellent. So, turns out I only needed one of these because the other side here actually locates in some tabs that are in the knife body, in the tool body, I guess I should say, not knife. And it's just this one side that screws out. Sorry, other way around. This one is a fixed side. This is the screw side. So, a little bit of Loctite, and she's good to go. Thanks for following along.